What if your greatest enemy isn't external, but an ancient force woven into your very bloodline? You, who feel the weight of something greater, have been chosen to confront it. This is not a battle of the flesh, but of the spirit, a confrontation with the religious demon that has tormented your family for generations. The task is clear: reclaim your spiritual authority and break the chains that have bound your lineage for centuries. You are marked by an ancient, unspoken force, your spiritual authority. It is not something you sought, nor something that can be relinquished. This power flows from the unseen realms, coursing through the fabric of your being, woven into your existence since the moment your soul touched this earth. It reaches deep into the spiritual dimension, far beyond the confines of this physical reality. Every interaction, every encounter you have, ripples with this energy, even if you are unaware of it. There is a reason why people are inexplicably drawn to you. Their eyes linger on you in a crowded space, a silent recognition of something they cannot fully understand. You do not demand attention. It simply arrives, like a magnetic pull, compelling others to approach, to speak, to unburden themselves. They come with their secrets, their fears, their confessions, placing them at your feet as though you were a priest in some hidden temple. They do not know why they trust you, but they do. And in that trust lies the evidence of your spiritual authority, your invisible crown. This authority is not merely a privilege. It is a mantle of responsibility, one that you carry whether you acknowledge it or not. You have been chosen to confront the shadows that have plagued your bloodline for generations. These shadows are not just metaphorical, but living, breathing forces. Ancient demons that have entwined themselves in your lineage, feeding off the weaknesses, the curses, the wounds that have festered over centuries. Their power is real, and their influence profound. They have tainted the roots of your family tree, spreading poison through its branches, from one generation to the next. Yet you have been given the power to sever these roots. The weight of this task is enormous, for it is not simply about breaking free from personal struggles, but liberating your ancestors and your descendants alike. The chains that bind your lineage are thick, forged over lifetimes of pain, betrayal, and spiritual blindness. But your authority allows you to smash these chains one by one. The demon is not some distant abstract concept. It is a predator lurking in the shadows of your family's history, feeding on the same cycles of failure, loss, and addiction. It has grown fat on the suffering of your ancestors, relishing the recurring patterns of defeat that have plagued your lineage. But now it is you who stands in its way. Your spiritual authority, bestowed by divine decree, shines like a sword forged in celestial fire. When you confront this demon, it recoils, for it knows that you have the power to destroy it. The authority you carry was designed for this very purpose, to break the cycle, to cast out the darkness that has strangled your bloodline for so long. It is a battle, fierce and unrelenting, one that will shake the very foundations of your soul. But in this struggle, you are not alone. You stand surrounded by the spirits of your ancestors, those who have longed for freedom but never had the strength to claim it. They watch, they wait, and they trust in you to finish what they could not. The first sign you've claimed your spiritual authority is that you no longer seek external validation. The opinions of others become irrelevant, like whispers lost in the wind, as your inner voice now reigns supreme, an unbreakable compass pointing you to truth. The second sign is you set clear boundaries without guilt. The invisible walls you once hesitated to raise now stand tall, strong as iron, unapologetically protecting your energy from those who would drain it. The third sign is you speak truth even when it's uncomfortable. Your words are no longer dulled by the fear of rejection, cutting through pretense like a blade forged in fire, even when it causes others to tremble. The fourth sign is you're unmoved by others' reactions. Whether met with praise or scorn, you remain a mountain, unmoved by the storm of opinions that swirl around you. The noise no longer has power over your soul. The fifth sign is you are a natural leader. People are drawn to you as moths to flame, recognizing in you a light that guides without force, a power that flows effortlessly through your presence, commanding respect without demanding it. The sixth sign is you feel a deep connection to the divine. In quiet moments, a sacred hum vibrates through your being, a resonance that binds you to the higher forces orchestrating your steps. You feel them, always, as real as the air you breathe. The seventh sign is you embrace responsibility for your life. No longer do you cast blame into the shadows. Instead, you wield accountability like a sword, cutting through excuses, knowing that your life is the manifestation of your will and choices. Each of these signs signals the claiming of your spiritual authority, a force that shapes not only your destiny, but the energy of those around you. The authority you now wield transcends mere human power. It ripples out from your core, affecting the unseen layers of reality that most will never touch. This authority was never meant to remain hidden or dormant. You were chosen, and now you step into it with all the gravity and fire it demands. When you stop seeking validation from others, you step into your true self, a being not bound by the shallow tides of public approval. No longer tethered to the judgments of those around you, you soar above their reach, understanding that your worth was never theirs to define. The whispers of doubt fade like the echoes of distant storms. You stand firm in the knowledge that your path is yours alone, carved by your hand and the divine will that guides you. Setting boundaries becomes a natural extension of this understanding. With spiritual authority, you no longer allow your energy to be siphoned away by those who would take and take without thought. You create sacred barriers, not out of fear or anger, but from the recognition that your power is precious and must be protected. Those who would test these boundaries fall away, unable to breach the force field of self-respect you have woven around yourself. Speaking truth, even when it's uncomfortable, becomes second nature. The world may try to shackle your voice, but you rip those chains apart. You speak with the power of someone who knows their words have the ability to shatter illusions and shift realities. There will be those who cannot handle the weight of your truth, who will recoil as if struck by lightning. But this is your power, your responsibility, and you no longer fear the reactions of others. Leadership is no longer a role you shy away from, but one you embrace. People gravitate toward you, sensing the steady, unyielding current of authority that flows through your veins. You guide not through force, but by embodying the truth of who you are. Others see in you what they aspire to be, and without realizing it, they follow your lead, drawn to the clarity and strength you exude. Your connection to the divine deepens, a constant thread linking you to something vast, something incomprehensible but undeniably real. This connection fuels you, giving you strength and wisdom beyond the physical realm. It is the source of your authority, the unseen force behind every word you speak, every action you take. And finally, you take full responsibility for your life, realizing that the power to shape your reality lies within you. Amidst this fierce and unrelenting battle stands Miranda, a true chosen one, whose unwavering spirit and warrior heart ignite our collective resistance. Miranda not only inspired the very topic of this video, but also leads by example as a distinguished member of the Inner Order Star Chamber. But Miranda cannot fight this holy war alone. We are the canary in the coal mine, sounding the alarm against the dark forces that threaten our spiritual awakening. To stand with Miranda and the Chosen Ones, we need your unwavering support. By joining our Patreon, you ensure that Miranda and all of us in the OIO can continue to illuminate the path to liberation without the constraints imposed by platforms that wish to silence us. This is a 360-degree win. Empower us in the fight, join the #1 Ascension Nexus for Chosen Ones, and get great information products, all while supporting the information war. The link to join us is in the description. You stand at the threshold of a war far older than yourself, older than even your ancestors can remember. This war is not fought with swords or flesh, but with spirit and authority. In your bloodline, an ancient religious demon has nestled itself deep within the roots of your family tree, feeding on centuries of fear, shame, and repression. Its existence is not some abstract myth, but a tangible force, one that has twisted divine truths and bent them into chains, shackling the souls of your ancestors and distorting the essence of the divine feminine. This demon thrives on the doctrines and teachings of old, using them as weapons to keep your lineage bound. These are the same teachings that once persecuted those who were gifted, those whose spiritual sight was sharper than others. They are the weapons that strangled the divine feminine, casting her as evil and dangerous, labeling intuition as witchcraft, and forcing silence upon the voices of the spiritually awakened. These chains have wrapped themselves around your family for generations, tightening their grip with each passing century. The demon laughs in the darkness, fed by the blind faith of your ancestors, who were led to believe that their power was wrong, that their spiritual gifts were to be feared, and that submission was their only salvation. But you are different. You were born not to inherit these chains, but to break them. You were chosen for the sole purpose of torturing this demon, to strip it of its power, to expose its lies, and to reclaim the divine truth it has worked so hard to obscure. This task is not one you can shy away from, nor one you can face with half-hearted resolve. The weight of your ancestors presses down on you, but it is not a burden of despair. It is a call to arms. They watch you, knowing that the authority you now claim has the power to end the suffering that has lasted far too long. The demon will not go quietly. It is cunning, skilled in the art of manipulation, and it will twist the very air around you to keep you blind. It feeds on the doctrines of oppression and control that were passed down through your family, whispering them into your ear, trying to convince you that your power is sinful, that your spiritual gifts are dangerous. It will attempt to use the very teachings of the past to silence you, as it has silenced those who came before you. But you are not here to be silenced. You are here to confront, to torture, to unravel every lie it has ever spun. Your authority comes from a source far greater than this demon could ever comprehend. When you stand in your truth, when you reclaim the divine feminine that was once demonized, when you embrace your spiritual gifts without fear, the demon trembles. It has no defense against the light you carry. Every time you reject the oppressive teachings that have been passed down, every time you refuse to submit to the doctrines that shamed your ancestors, you strike a blow to its very existence. This demon has survived for centuries by sowing fear, doubt, and submission. But your authority, your power, is the key to its destruction. You torture it by standing firm in your spiritual gifts, by rejecting the lies that were used to control your family, and by honoring the divine feminine that was persecuted. The more you step into your spiritual authority, the more the demon is starved of its power. Its hold on your bloodline weakens with every act of defiance, with every rejection of the oppressive religious doctrines that kept your ancestors spiritually crippled. You stand on the precipice of a battle that has raged in silence for centuries. This is not just a personal struggle, but a confrontation with an ancient force, an insidious religious demon that has wrapped its tendrils around your bloodline, feeding off the fear and submission of generations. It has survived, thrived even, by distorting divine truths and enforcing oppressive rules designed to suppress the very essence of your family's spiritual power. You cannot avoid this fight, because to step fully into your spiritual authority, you must first dismantle this demon's reign. It is a force that has tormented your ancestors, suffocated the divine feminine, and obscured the gifts that flow through your lineage. This demon's power lies in its ability to manipulate through fear and control. It hides behind the guise of religious dogma, whispering ancient lies that have poisoned the spiritual well from which your family once drank freely. For generations, your ancestors were taught to fear their own power, to see their spiritual gifts as something dangerous or sinful, and to bow to the oppressive structures that this demon erected. It is a master of illusion, convincing those before you that submission was the only path to salvation, that they must shrink themselves to fit within the rigid confines of these false teachings. But you were not born to submit. You were chosen to confront this demon head-on, to tear down the structures that it has built, and to reclaim the sacred power it has tried so hard to bury. Torturing this demon means rejecting every lie it is told. It means standing in the truth of your divine gifts and refusing to be silenced by fear. This confrontation is not an act of rebellion. It is an act of restoration, a return to the spiritual authority that has always been your birthright. You do not step into this battle alone. The spirits of your ancestors watch with bated breath, knowing that you carry the strength to break the chains that held them captive. Your task is not simply to defeat this demon, but to torture it, to expose the falsehoods it has woven into the fabric of your family's spiritual history. Every time you refuse to submit to the oppressive religious beliefs that have been passed down, every time you reclaim your spiritual gifts with confidence and purpose, you deliver a blow to its core. The demon thrives on submission and silence, so when you speak your truth, when you reclaim the power that was stolen from your lineage, it writhes in agony. Your very existence becomes a weapon, one that tortures this demon by dismantling the stronghold it has built within your bloodline. This is not a simple task. The demon will fight back using the same tools it has always used: fear, shame, guilt. It will try to convince you that you are wrong, that your power is too dangerous, too unruly, and that you should return to the path of submission. But you must stand firm, knowing that every act of defiance chips away at the chains that have bound your family for centuries. You were born to tear down these old paradigms, to destroy the structures that have kept your family in spiritual bondage, and to replace them with a new, liberated reality. The moment you defeat the religious demon that has held your bloodline captive, the floodgates of divine energy burst open. You will feel it in every corner of your existence, an uncontainable force, vast as a river breaking free from its dam. This is not just a victory. It is an awakening, an unleashing of the divine feminine energy that has been buried beneath centuries of fear and repression. You become a vessel for this energy, a conduit through which creativity, intuition, and healing surge with unstoppable power. It is the very force the demon tried to smother, but now, in your hands, it flows with an intensity that transforms everything it touches. The divine feminine energy moves through you like a wildfire, igniting dormant gifts that you never fully understood before. Where there was once confusion, now there is clarity. Your intuition sharpens, becoming a voice that no longer whispers but roars with undeniable authority. It guides you with precision, allowing you to see beyond the physical realm, to grasp truths that others overlook. Every decision becomes charged with purpose, every thought aligned with the higher forces that now flood your consciousness. This energy not only fuels your spiritual gifts, but it magnifies them, elevating you to a state of power that the demon could never touch. Creativity, once confined by the weight of the demon's oppression, bursts forth like a tidal wave. Ideas and inspiration will pour into you in ways that feel almost overwhelming, as though the dam has been shattered and you are swimming in a sea of endless possibility. The divine feminine, in all its wisdom, breathes life into every corner of your existence, whether in art, music, writing, or the simple act of living. You create not just for yourself, but as a channel for the divine, and through your creations, others will be drawn to your light, sensing the power that emanates from your very being. For some, the rewards will manifest as divine partnerships, sacred unions not built on shallow connections, but on a deep spiritual alignment. These are not mere relationships, but powerful alliances, where the energies of two beings intertwine to create something far greater than themselves. The divine feminine, now unshackled, will guide you to those who walk the same path of spiritual authority, those who share the same fire that burns within you. Together you will build, not from a place of need, but from abundance. These partnerships will not drain you. They will lift you higher, fueling your ascent toward your divine purpose. Opportunities will appear as if from nowhere, but in truth, they have been waiting for you all along. As you claim your spiritual authority, you open the door to the divine gifts that have been kept just out of reach, hidden until you were ready to wield them. The religious demon, in its oppression, tried to close every path to your higher purpose. But now those paths reveal themselves with unmistakable clarity. Doors swing open effortlessly, and you step through them with the confidence of someone who knows they are divinely guided. The universe aligns with your intent, offering you the resources, connections, and opportunities you need to fulfill your purpose. Healing, too, will pour into your life. The wounds inflicted by the demon's influence, wounds that have lingered in your bloodline for generations, will begin to close. The divine feminine energy is not just creative, it is restorative. It heals the broken places within you, the places that have been scarred by fear, doubt, and the heavy chains of religious oppression. As the wounds heal, you will feel lighter, as if a great weight has been lifted from your soul. You will no longer carry the burdens of your ancestors. Instead, you will walk forward, whole and empowered, knowing that the battle has been won and the curse broken. This is the reward for your courage, for your refusal to submit to the lies and chains of the past. You, who have fought and won, now stand as a beacon of divine power, a living testament to the victory of the divine feminine. The gifts that flow into your life are not random. They are your birthright, the inheritance of one who has claimed their spiritual authority. The religious demon has been defeated, and in its place, an abundance of divine energy now overflows into your life, blessing you with creativity, intuition, healing, and purpose beyond anything you have known. You stand at the threshold of a battle that only you were destined to fight. Your role as a chosen one is more than fate. It is a divine mandate. You are here to wield your spiritual authority with unwavering conviction, to confront the ancient religious demon that has poisoned your bloodline for generations. This demon's reign ends with you. Through your power, you unravel the chains that have bound your ancestors, severing the oppressive ties that sought to suppress the divine gifts within your family. This is not just about you. It is a reclamation of your entire lineage's spiritual legacy, restoring it to its rightful place of freedom and power. Your spiritual authority was not granted to you lightly. It is not simply a reward, but a charge, one that calls you to shine a light in the places where darkness has thrived for too long. You hold the power to rewrite the story of your bloodline, to transform generations of suffering into strength. Trust in the divine energy that now flows through you, the force that empowers you to stand firm in your truth and break every falsehood the demon has woven into the fabric of your family. The world needs the light you carry, and you are divinely protected as you step into this truth. You must share your story. Tell others of the battles you have fought and the victories you have claimed. The power of your truth can liberate more than just your bloodline. It has the potential to awaken others who are also fighting their own ancient battles. You are not just a chosen one, you are a beacon. Let your voice be the fire that sparks others to step into their authority. Share your journey, for in doing so, you empower others to reclaim theirs.